Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello, it's Mike Matthews. I didn't do a podcast yesterday because what I was doing was searching for a car.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's the most obnoxious beginning to a show ever, a podcast show. Yes, looking for a car. A Mr. Good car. I was looking for it because I have been scarred by the smog world that we live in California. You are not forgiven. If your car cannot pass the thing where they plug it in and it doesn't...
Mike's Daily Podcast.
If the computer doesn't talk to the thing that the mechanic has, the smog guy...
Mike's
I'm explaining this so well.
Daily
Then you don't pass.
Podcast.
And that's what happened.
Yeah!
My car did not pass. I went to the mechanic. He said, I want to reset it, drive around for a while. So I drove around for a while. And then a week ago yesterday, I got pulled over by the CHP. And the guy said,
"You will respect my authority."
And then I said, okay. And he said, what's up? Why are your tags old? And I said, well, because my mechanic said to drive around. And then the coronavirus happened and he closed and I can't get back to him. And he goes, well, you need to get this done. So I went to, my mechanic opened, I went and I saw him and he said, you know what? There's so many things going on with this car. It's over 200,000 miles. Do you really want to do this? And I went, okay. And this all happened on Friday after I did the podcast. So by the way, I'm just getting you caught up. And then... all day yesterday, I was on the internet looking for a car between Craigslist and Carfax. Let me tell you, the last time I bought a car, it was 1805, and we was in a stagecoach on the open range. Down floor, there was people in the with their thing.
I know no foreign language other than a little.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Little pig Latin there for you. Yeah, so it was way back when. So, to the fact that I don't know what's happening now. Luckily, I have a lovely lady friend who went, no, Mike. This is the deal. This is how you got to do it now. You should really go online. You got to do this. You got to check the Carfax out. You got to, oh my gosh, you got to look at this and that. And hey, I'm going to do a podcast picture of the beautiful sky yesterday. It was very interesting in Podcaster Valley. You can see that MikesDailyPodcast.com. Basil. He's doing a little better, everyone. I thought it was curtains for him on Friday. I went home and, well, actually, I left for work and he just was not himself, really not himself. And then, luckily, as the day wore on, he came alive. And it's just old, he's old. And the expression "sick as a dog," he's a dog and he gets sick. And that's the end of the show. Not really, but yes. So he's hanging in there. We had a good day yesterday. I spent most of the day with him as I was online looking at Craigslist. I'll just tell you, there is just... You got to watch out for the scams. I found this one nice... what do you call it? Prius C. I found a really nice Prius C. It was under $10,000. Because we're talking about... 10 grand now when it comes to a used car if you want something with low mileage. And this car had low mileage. Turned out my lovely lady friend got the VIN, did a check, and found out, oh no, you know what, this car has a salvage title on it. That means it got into a bad accident at some point. Actually, in the case that we found out with this car, it had been auctioned, it had been stolen, I guess, and stripped. And then the police auctioned it off. Somebody bought it for a crazy low price and then was just trying to resell it for a couple thousand more. And that was the deal on Craigslist. And everybody has been telling me, watch out on Craigslist. There's all kinds of shams and scams. Don't do it, Mike. Don't do it. So, I forgot to film myself. Not that this is important at all in this part of the show. So, what I'm discovering, though, this morning as I drove to work was, as I drive up Mission and go to Podcast2087Cars, that there are a bevy of auto malls and auto things. And I might go and stop and check out one of those just because I have no other plans at this point. Unless you're selling a car, let me know. 336MM Daily, 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast has not been for the past couple of days. Because I'm a logo with hands. Because I was just... Well, actually, yesterday we didn't do one. We did one all week, but I just had no time with the whole searching for a car. So... You can call me if you would like to sell a car. I want low mileage. I want under 100,000. Somewhere around 80,000 would be nice as far as the mileage goes. I don't want a car that costs $80,000. That would not be smart. But because, of course, as soon as they roll off the lot, the price goes down tremendously. That just must make them feel so special. What? As soon as I get off this parking lot, my value goes down? I am complete. I've got nothing. I've become worthless when awesome. I'm not going to do that then. Keep me on this parking lot where I'm nice and... So anyway, that was what I have to do today. Hey, so... When you got that VIN number, you can do that Carfax thing. You can see how many people owned it. That's fascinating to me. You can see how many times it was serviced. That's amazing. Not to be a plug for Carfax. Because then you have to pay. Here's the slug. I did a plug, now a slug. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcast2087, the last place on earth. Cafe anyway. Anyway. When you go out and look for a car... when you do the Carfax thing, that's right. If you want to see if someone hasn't done it already, you have to pay for it, and that's something like $60 or some crazy amount. So that's ridiculous. So I'll hit those car dealerships on Mission Boulevard. There's some bizarre looking ones. I bet I'm going to see Bill Murray at one of them, looking like he did in the movie for Wild Things, looking all just haphazard and shaggy and zoiks. The auto mechanic that checked my car out to see if it's ready to be smogged, and he plugged it in and got this whole display of weirdness. I thought, I've driven it around all this time, it's going to be fine. And then he plugged it in and he went, oh my, this is bad, Captain, really bad. So as I drove away from the auto mechanic, that's when all of a sudden I realized my windows won't roll down anymore. It was one thing after another. Hey, then, yeah, that's pretty much... Oh, hey, one other thing before I wrap up the show, and that is, with this whole working from home culture in which we live... Aren't companies just happy as clams? I mean, they didn't want to do this for the longest time. They always wanted us to come in to work. And now, because of the coronavirus, they don't want us to come in. They don't want us to get sick. But they're liking it even more because all that electricity they used to pay for and all the computers they'd have to replace and all that's all happening from home now. I'm paying for my own internet service instead of using the company's internet. I have to go when I go home. In fact, I'm probably going to have to spend money and get the next tier of internet service because I need more. So Comcast Xfinity is laughing all the way to the bank, and that's not good. So Cafe anyway, so that is ridiculous that we have to in the end they're the ones that are laughing, and that's not what I was thinking about. That's something.
No way.
Yes. I was looking for my old laughing sound effect. And it's here. There we go. They're laughing all the way. It's fascinating, though, isn't it? Working from home, we're using our own internet, our own supplies, paying for all that for themselves. Keep that in mind, working from home person. How much are you spending now where the company used to spend it? And when the companies don't need all that office space, that'll be interesting too. They'll realize where they can cut corners and all that. Anyway, we're Cafe Anyway. We're outside of Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, Mont, the last place on Earth. Let's say hi out to some people right now. Here. Hello, Michael Mash. It's Madame Rootabega, and that is very sad. About the whole thing about the auto mechanic and the working from home. Oh, yes, isn't that terrible? Makes me just want to scream. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do that.
Mike, we didn't hear Madame Rootabega do that thing she does where she says yes, they.
Yeah, madam, say something like yes.
Yes.
Do you like saying yes?
Yes.
Do you want to say it one more time?
No.
Okay.
That was great, Mike.
Yeah, that was great. Do you know that?
That's terrible.
Next show, it'll be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer. Thank you for listening to FF episode 2087. I got to run. I got to train a young man who's going to learn radio today as I'm passing knowledge of the radio world to other people, and isn't that exciting? Oh, and the podcast picture is of that wonderful sky from yesterday in Podcastro Valley. See it now at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Take it away, A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!